Getting waived is crazy because, like, what do you do after you get waived? I got all my stuff up here that I drove in a rental car from Atlanta, and now I have to drive all my stuff back to Atlanta, but I can't seem to find a rental car because none are available anywhere. So I need to figure out how I'm gonna get my stuff back to Atlanta. The team will ship 3 to 5 boxes, but I have more than 3 to 5 boxes worth of stuff.
Guys, hello, welcome or welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Geneva. This is Geneva in General. And guys, in my previous video I just uploaded some hours ago, I spoke about Diamond DeShields actually getting waived from the Connecticut Sun just one day prior to tomorrow's May 16th WNBA's 2025 season tip-off, and about, like, it's just so abrupt and how cruel and ruthless the WNBA is, okay? And again, I just saw it just right here. Celeste Taylor, I believe, of the Phoenix Mercury. Let me see. Let me make sure. Yeah, the Phoenix Mercury. She used to play, I believe she used to play for the Washington Mystics or the LA Sparks. But Celeste Taylor, guys, 5'11" from Queens, New York City. She used to also play for my OSU Buckeyes, Ohio State Buckeyes, for college. She has just also been waived from the Phoenix Mercury, okay? Again, just one day prior to the WNBA's 2025 season. And I want to speak a little bit about, a little bit more about this because, again, I'm going to insert a video prior to my commentary. You guys just saw it, of Diamond DeShields. She looked very numb. She looked distraught. She looked like she was still just processing everything. She looked heartbroken and in pain, with the news of her being waived from the Connecticut Sun. Again, in that video, Diamond DeShields, she's speaking very slow. She's speaking very lowly. She's just talking about the logistics of everything. How, again, like, she was just so excited to show up and show out for the Connecticut Sun in this upcoming season. And then they just dropped the bomb on her. She's talking about, the WNBA will ship between 3 to 5 boxes for each player max. But she said, I got, more boxes than that. And she was like, I think she said, like, she drove a rental car to, Uncasville, Connecticut, where the Mohegan Sun Tribe arena and, like, that WNBA team, the Connecticut Sun, is headquartered at in Uncasville, Connecticut. And she's talking about how she's going to have to, get another rental car, drive it back to Atlanta along with all her belongings. Again, she has more than just 5 boxes. It's a hot mess. Again, it's like they got to do something better. And again, I want to say this to say this, okay? I want to say this to say this. When you have all these people, again, we are entitled to our own opinions. We have the right to, believe what we want to believe. But when I see people making the argument that women in the WNBA should be able to declare themselves right out of high school at 18, 19, 20, 21 years of age, no. This is the reason why. It's not a guarantee. You can be the hottest thing on the block, okay? There's a reason why in the WNBA, specifically if you're American born, right? If you're a foreigner, they don't care if you're 16, 17, 18, 19, okay? You can play. Probably not 16, but I believe 18, 19 plus up, right? You don't even have to have a degree. But if you're an American woman, if you're American born, they want you to have that 4-year college experience or a college degree to fall back on. Why? Because it's not a guarantee. Again, you can be the hottest thing on the block, okay? You can be Juju Watkins level, but what happens if you tear your ACL? Again, this past season, I saw a lot of people saying, like, you know what? Juju Watkins, they need to just, make way for her. They need to give her a waiver. They need to give her special treatment, allow her to declare herself at the tender age of 19 for the WNBA draft. And I said, no, guys, let her, again, just work on what she needs to work on. I'm sorry, guys, my freaking allergies. Allow her to sharpen her skills, strengthen what she needs to strengthen her weaknesses, etc., etc. Let her mature a little bit more. I said, again, when you have women of the likes of, say, Diana Taurasi, who just retired at the age of 42, I don't want to see a 42-year-old woman going up against a 19-year-old teenage girl. Okay, I want some more maturity from Juju Watkins. Allow her, again, we only got, like, what? She'll be 20 this June, July. She's a Cancer. So we got, like, 2.5 more years left. It'll go by like that, okay? And now she just tore her ACL. Allow her to, reacclimate into the game, because she got to heal both mentally and physically, spiritually, emotionally from her ACL that she just tore this past March. So she just tore her ACL. She got to heal and recover. But again, it's like, Imagine again, like you were a high school woman who just graduated, right? You're 19 years of age. The WNBA allows women who are American to declare themselves for the draft at 19 plus. You ain't got no degree to fall back on, but you're great at basketball. You're 19 years old. You're 20 years old. You declare yourself for the WNBA draft. You go number 1 overall, right? You ain't got no degree. You get into the game. You get pregnant. You get in the game. You're not, making your shots. You get into the game. You tear your ACL or you get really hurt. Now what? Not every team is going to guarantee you a contract. And even in that contract, if you're not producing, if you're not performing, again, the WNBA is a very much what have you done for me lately, or what you're going to do for me soon type of league. If you are not producing, okay, if you're not giving them what they need, if you're not putting them stats up, if you ain't putting up no numbers, you're going to be out of a job. Again, look what just happened to Haley Jones. She just was on Instagram the other day, excited about closing on a home. The very next day, the Atlanta Dream just cut her. Okay, so again, I'm all with the WNBA. There's a reason why things are put in place the way they are. Again, I would love to see Juju Watkins come into the league, but at 19, no, allow her to finish school and get a degree they can all fall back on. Okay, that could be, again, like a lot of them major in like things such as sports broadcasting, sports journalism, such as Deja Kelly. She likes to call the games. Sports medicine, sports science, things of that nature, because they know that as a woman, like specifically if you want children or you want a family, or like just the way our bodies are designed, we don't have like a lot of time as compared to the men's side of the NBA to have like a 20+ year career. Okay, now we got Diana Taurasi, she did it, right? But even her, like her wife carried her children. Okay, they got 2 kids. Again, Diana Taurasi got 2 kids. I'm not sure if they're biological or whatever. That ain't my business. I just know that she's a mom of 2 kids with her wife. But we never saw her physically pregnant, not that I can remember. So again, it's like as a woman, you want to keep that in the back of your mind, longevity, not just on the court, but also off the court. So yes, don't let these little teenage girls declare themselves for the draft. Tell them, like, listen, you need to have 4 years college completed or a college degree. You need your bachelor's in something. Because again, anything and everything can and will happen. And you need something to fall back on. Again, now Diamond DeShields, luckily and thankfully, she comes from, an athletic family. Again, her brother plays in the MLB. Her father, Delano DeShields Sr., he played 13 seasons, Major League Baseball. Her sister, I believe one of her little sisters is in college right now. Ironically, they was spreading rumors that it was one of her little sisters who could have possibly made contact with Juju Watkins when she tore her ACL. But it's still not, y'all can't blame that little girl for what happened. Okay, it is what it is. What I'm saying is, like, when you see that video, I actually feel bad for Diamond DeShields, even though I'm more than sure like she's financially secure. Again, I hope so. She has so much time. Again, she has a college degree. She comes from her father was a professional baseball player. It's like, hopefully she'll be all right. But again, imagine if she was a 19, 20-year-old young woman with no degree, not even an associate's, no college credits. So again, the WNBA needs to keep that rule intact. Now, let's pivot a little bit, guys. Satou Sabally, people are like kind of low-key like coming for her on Twitter because she was under a TikTok video talking about, this woman said, like, Kaitlyn Chen has been waived. It's not fair. They used her, Kaitlyn Chen, both her and Cheyenne Sellers to boost their ratings, to generate interest in the Golden State Valkyries, to get all the, the would-be fans and the fans of them currently, to get them interested in and invested into the Golden State Valkyries. And then they just cut them off at the knees. They dead wrong. They used them girls. And then Satou Sabally went onto that TikTok video and she commented, "Girl, she got a chance." This is talking about Kaitlyn Chen being waived. That's more than others get. And to promote her and share her culture is amazing. She was introduced to the fan base. She got waived because she wasn't good enough yet. Satou Sabally just like put it out right there, like this point blank period. She said she got waived because she's just not good enough. Now, Satou Sabally got to be careful, okay? Satou Sabally got to be careful because let me tell you something about the internet, baby girl. The internet has a short attention span, but a long memory. Again, the internet and the general public, we tend to have a short attention span, but a long memory. Now, this upcoming 2025 WNBA season, Satou Sabally, girl, you better be on your P's and Q's. You better be making every layup. You better be dunking, because they was like, you know what? As soon as you have a terrible season or a bad game, they're going to come back to this comment of you talking about how Kaitlyn Chen low-key deserved to get waived, even though she's an amazing woman. She has, she got to promote herself and her culture. And, as a Taiwanese woman, she would have been the first official Taiwanese woman that descended to, play in the WNBA. They was like, how dare Satou Sabally talk about somebody ain't good enough? It was like your little sister got a championship last year before you did. I said, ooh. So again, Satou Sabally, girl, you better watch your back and your front, because the girls is not happy about them comments you made about Kaitlyn Chen getting waived. Guys, comment down below your thoughts on, Diamond DeShields looking just so distraught. Again, I really do feel bad for her. Even though, again, like, she was one of my problem children. Y'all know how I used to bring it to her, Lindsay Allen, Dana Evans, Izzy Harrison last year when it came to our Chicago Sky, when she used to be a skyscraper. Okay, she was getting on my nerves, I ain't gonna lie. But just seeing what, like, just the tip of the iceberg, what they go through. She got to go through the logistics about getting back to Atlanta, getting all her belongings, trying to find a rental car. Anybody got time for all this stress? Again, hopefully we get to see Diamond DeShields. Again, like, she came back from so much. Okay, she had a tumor removed from her spine. They thought she would never play again, be able to walk again. She was, like, I believe, paralyzed temporarily. It was just a lot. So hopefully we do see Diamond DeShields get healthy, both physically and spiritually, and we get to see her somewhere in the WNBA. Celeste Taylor, shout out to her. Hopefully she gets, again, it's just so many women that just got waived, guys. Again, if I were to make a video dedicated to each and every last one, I'd be on here for just too long, okay? So shout out to Haley Jones, Celeste Taylor, LA, the Golden State Valkyries, Cheyenne Sellers, Diamond DeShields, again, et cetera, et cetera. And let's be honest, some more of the women that's about to be waived, because something tells me the wave of waiving is not done, okay? And again, Satou Sabally, all I got to say about your comments about Kaitlyn Chen, talking about she ain't good enough, it is what it is. You better hope you have a phenomenal season down there at the Phoenix Mercury.